Mabuhay mga kababayan, kamusta? You are watching America's first and only daily talk show for and about the Filipinos. My name is Janelle Sawyer, Kababayan in Los Angeles, where today on the program, we're also going to be introducing you to a young and talented Kababayan pride. And I know I always say young here on the show, but this time when I say young, I mean 3 years old. She's going to be appearing in Toddlers in Tiaras. But before you catch her there, catch her interview with her. That's today on the program. Meanwhile, anticipation is building for Manny Pacquiao's next fight. That's going to be against Brandon Rios, November 24th in Macau, in Asia, in China. But a CNN documentary tells us that our Pinoy pride didn't really stop fighting. In fact, he has been continuing a different kind of battle, but with a female partner, a woman who seems to have dedicated her life to fighting against child trafficking. We would like to remind everyone some videos from this story may be disturbing, and so discretion is advised. Here is a story from CNN.
They may live half a world away, but children everywhere are the same.
Bruno Mars! Yeah, we like Bruno Mars.
These 3 girls live at a permanent shelter called the Center of Hope. All the girls here have been sold in one way or another. Some to work for little or no pay as housemaids. Others have been rescued from brothels.
As of now, there's a new phenomena of trafficking for cybersex that we observe for almost 3 years already.
Cecilia Flores Obanda runs the group which protects these girls from further harm. Over the past 20 years, the Visayan Forum says it's rescued more than 15,000 children from the grips of human traffickers. The work of Obanda and world champion boxer turned Congressman Manny Pacquiao are the subject of a new CNN documentary, The Fighters. During filming, the girls spoke to Obanda about their experience.
Internet cafe po. Pinapagawa po sa akin yung pinapahubad, tapos pinapasayaw. Nag-uubad din po, tapos pinapasayaw. Tapos po pinapabaka din po kami nagpagat.
For about $30, an American man was able to have the girls do anything he wanted, while a man behind the camera made sure the girls complied.
Minsan po na yung mga pinapagawa, yung umiihi na yun. Nay. Ano nay? Sinasagulan ng ihi. Ihi na. Tapos na iniinom. Kasi na yun kasi ang utos ng Amerikano na yun.
Obanda and the girls did get help from these guys, Homeland Security's investigations agents.
Most of the world is a little bit shielded from what's really going on.
Jim Cole spends his days in this cramped, windowless office. But don't let the surroundings fool you. His work is life-saving.
There are thousands of investigators across the world that are dealing with this issue and this issue only, and we're all busy.
He, along with the help from agents in the field, tracked down this man, Jeffrey Herschel, 54 years old, living in western Pennsylvania. Agents arrested him at his home. There, they found dozens of pictures of young children.
Hey, I'm with CNN, and I was just wondering if I could talk to you for a few seconds.
No, I don't want to.
On May 28th, the judge sentenced him to 12 years in prison.
Well, I hope you understand the damage you caused to these girls. Are you sure you don't want to say anything? No?
Well, I called the girls to tell them the good news, but not surprisingly, just the sight of Herschel made them uneasy.
They are nervous seeing him.
They're nervous?
Yeah, but he's in prison now, so he cannot abuse you anymore.
What is their life like now?
Kumusta na daw kayo?
Okay. Masaya naman kami.
Yeah?
Masaya naman.
They are okay. They are happy.
Tinay mga bata pa kami, kaya marami pa kami magagawa sa buhay.
Yes, she said that they know that they are still children, and they know that they can do so much in their life. And they thank you.
Christy Paul, CNN, Atlanta.
Disturbing story because we see the situation that's going on, especially when children are involved, but also at the same time hopeful because knowing that people like Cecilia and, of course, Manny Pacquiao are doing their best and working together to solve this issue. It's not going to be easy, and so they need our help, of course. We need to be vigilant as well, and we try to help as much as we can, volunteering to organizations like this, and also donating, if we can, even resources and funding for the shelter homes. Meanwhile, speaking of disturbing story, this is another disturbing story in the continuing saga that is the IRS investigation. A recent audit report shows that they may have used taxpayers' money on lavish conferences. Watch this.
Paintings of Albert Einstein, Michael Jordan, Abraham Lincoln, and even Bono from U2, all made on-site at an IRS conference by an artist hired to perform leadership through art and paid $17,000. Taxpayer dollars. It's just one example of IRS excess, detailed in this new Inspector General report, which zeroes in on a 2010 IRS conference in Anaheim, California, which cost taxpayers a whopping $4 million. Nearly 2,700 IRS employees stayed at 3 hotels, with no attempt to negotiate lower rates. The problem? Instead of using in-house IRS planners, the IRS hired outside organizers with no incentive to bargain because they got a 5% commission from the hotels. In fact, each event organizer got paid $66,500 by Uncle Sam from this one conference.
They didn't negotiate, they didn't bid it, and this was 2,700 folks, so they could have gotten a considerable reduction. Instead, what they said is, we'll pay full boat, but we want some perks.
The hotels threw in 24 tickets to the Los Angeles Angels games, free drinks, and upgrades like this lavish presidential suite. An IRS division head stayed here. The IRS even made swag for its employees to take home, like this tote bag with a special logo made just for the conference. This bag was made in China, by the way. So was this leather folio. They also got notebooks like this, even bottle openers. All of these gifts and trinkets added up to $64,000 taxpayer dollars. But what may be just as outrageous as wasting this money is the fact that the IRS did not appear to follow the very rules it requires each and every taxpayer to follow.
Attempting to modulate the frequency now.
Sorry about the uniforms, Captain. The dry cleaner gave me the wrong order.
For example, this Star Trek spoof. The Inspector General said this and other videos made for the conference cost $50,187. But the IG says no one knows if that cost is accurate because the IRS, the agency that requires taxpayers to keep receipts, did not save its own documents to show what it spent. The new acting commissioner says the IRS has already made changes.
We must ensure that we continue to have the right controls and oversight in place to prevent wasteful or inappropriate spending.
One conference workshop should have helped. It was entitled Political Savvy, How Not to Shoot Yourself in the Foot.
Well, they better be making changes over there, but nonetheless, heads should roll and people should be held liable. Meanwhile, when we return on Kababayan today, we're going to be talking real estate. Don't go away.